Our class, this is a video on how to explaining how to do the emoji project. And so the first one, so you should have two, a part one and a part two. The part one is emoji one and emoji two. And part three, right, is emoji three and emoji four. So make sure you should have 4 sheets of paper. So make sure you're tracking that. Now let's look at emoji one. And so the transformation is you have the pre-image on the left side, and you're going to do a transformation and put it on the right side. And image number one, right? Image number one, it tells you to translate right 5 units. So go over now. You're gonna go find image number one. Image number one is this line right here. That is image number one, and they want it to be translated right 5 units. So if you're gonna move it 5 units to the right, it only affects the x coordinate. It doesn't affect the y coordinates. Because remember, y's mean you go up and down. So once you have recognized the image, found the image, it tells you to translate it right 5 units. Go to the recording sheet. This is where you're going to do, I guess, the math, the algebraic part of it. So item number one, emoji number one, right? And so because we're shifting right 5 units, I'm just going to add 5 to the x coordinates. And so the first point is -9,3. So I'm going to have -9 plus 5. The y coordinate 3 still stays the same. I'm not going to mess with that because it's, the image is not going up or down. The next point is -4,8, and so I'm going to add 5 to the -4. The 8 stays the same. We're not going to mess with it. -9 and 5, that gives me a -4, and then the y coordinate 3. -4 and 5 is a +1, and that gives me, and then I have the 8y coordinate. See that? Now, once you've done that now, the new points are -4,3 and 1,8. Now you go back to the graph and you're going to plot those points. -4 across 4 up 3 is right here. That's my new point. And then the other one is 1,8, 1, and I go up 8, which is right there. And so make sure you draw a straight line. Okay. Now on the homework last week, some of you guys are drawing a straight line. It looks like this. That's not a straight line, guys. You got to connect the dots, the points with a straight line. If you don't do that, if I see some wiggly lines, I'm gonna take points off. You got to draw a straight line, connect the points, and that is number one. Okay. Let's do another example. Look at number 5. Item number 5, which is this line right here. Let me erase this now. Item number 5 is this line right here. It says reflect over the y-axis. Now remember, when we reflect over the y-axis, only the x coordinates change. If you're not sure, go back and watch the videos, okay? And so let's go back to the recording sheet. Item number 5, emoji number 1. Let's go here. Okay, emoji number 1. I'm looking for item number 5. Here it is. It's reflecting over the y-axis. Therefore, only the x. I'm going to change the signs on the x. It becomes -x. The y stays the same. -x. The y stays the same. Therefore, I'm going to have -0 is still 0. The 3, I don't mess with the 3. On this one now, it's going to give me, I have a +2 here. So I'm going to end up with a -2, and the -3 still stays the same. So let's go back now and plot this point on the graph. So so 0, 3 is my first point. Let's use a different color. 0, 3 is right there. And next one is -2, -3. -2 here and down 3. That's at a point. Okay. And that is image number 5. All right, you get the picture, guys. All right. So that's how you do that for emoji number 1. And then let's look at part 2 now. I mean, part 2. Yeah, part 2. Let's look at the first one. Item number 1, which is the elliptical circle here. All right. It says dilate by a scale factor of 2. So remember, on yesterday's lesson, right? When you dilate, you're multiplying the x and y coordinates by the factor. Right. So the factor is 2. So let's go to the recording sheet now. We're looking for number 1 on emoji number 3. So go to the recording sheet, emoji number 3, number 1. So remember now, we're multiplying by a factor of 2. All right, so therefore, I'm going to multiply the x and y coordinate by 2. So I'm going to have, I got to write a little bit small here, 2 times -3. All right, and then 2 times 1. That gives me now -6 as my new x coordinate and 2 as my new y coordinate. Let's go to the other one. 2 times 0, 2 times 0, and 2 times 3. So that gives me 0 and 6. All right. Next one, 2 times 0 and 2 times -1. That gives me a 0 and a -2. And the last one is 2 times 3 and 2 times 1, 6 and 2. Okay. So let me write these points down. So I have -6, 2, 0, 6, 0, -2, and 6, 2. So let's go back now. Let's go back now to the recording sheet and we can plot those points on it. Okay, let's see. Recording sheet. I'm sorry, the graph. So here we go. So here we know we have a -6, 2. -6 up to, that's my first point right there. And 0, 6, +6, 0, 6 is right there. And then we have 0, -2, 0, -2 is right there. And 6, 2, that's right there. So, or it's an elliptical now. So it's going to look something like elliptical. All right. Something like that. Not the best, but you can get the picture. All right, guys. So that's how you're going to do this project. It is due by Thursday. All right, so if you're not in class, make sure you get that down. So remember, translate. If you translate to the right, you're going to add. If you translate down, you're going to subtract. All right.